Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. My name is David Holliday. I'm the Vice President of the National Student Exchange, and I'm also the NSE Coordinator at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Today's webinar, it's September 2025. The webinar is going to focus on crafting your NSE marketing plan. So I'm going to be sharing some resources and ideas and suggestions and things like that during the session. If you have questions or comments during the session, use the chat. Leah and Asha will be monitoring the chat for me and bring things to light. And we'll wrap this up in about 30 minutes, but feel free to hang out after. We'll be available as well to talk more. So the first thing I want to always remind folks is direct placements. There are still 140 NSE campuses available for spring 2026 via direct placement. This information is available publicly on the NSE website. If you scroll under campuses, you'll see availability. That shows campus availability on home pay and host pay, as well as a deadline for spring 2026. Currently, as of today, there are 96 campuses still accepting students on host pay. That includes some of our most popular NSE destinations in Hawaii, California, Alaska, Florida, Minnesota. Lots of us are still accepting students on host pay. But even more campuses, 109 campuses indicate availability on home pay. So one ask that I'm going to have you do, tasks that you could do now, is first of all, follow up with your student inquiries. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a few minutes, as well as students that are in your app portal, those preliminary apps. Also, I highly recommend sending an email across campus to eligible sophomores and juniors. We're going to talk more about that process here in a bit. I just did that last week, and I have probably 30 or 40 new applications. Now, of course, not all of them are going to proceed to placement, but it's a quick and easy way to get students in, inform them of the opportunity and get them into your app portal. The other thing I really recommend doing now is emailing your academic advisors. I have a listserv on my campus of academic advisors, and send a quick message to them, letting them know if their students are looking for unique opportunities for spring semester, if they want to escape Minnesota winters or other northern climates. That can be a benefit of NSE too. But letting your academic advisors know about this opportunity as they start communicating with and advising students about spring 2026. So don't forget, NSE placements happen year-round via direct placements, and what I really love about them is they're so quick and easy. You simply pick a school from the list, and actually let me show you that list. Pick a school on the list that is open on one plan or both plans, and if the deadline is not passed, that placement's going to happen very quickly, within 24 to 48 hours typically. So don't forget about direct placements. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a step back and a little bit of a broader perspective about marketing your NSE program. And so this is the good old classic marketing funnel. You want to get as many people in the top of the funnel in order to actually result in a smaller number of applicants. So to fill the top of the funnel, these are all things that I do on my campus and I highly recommend. One is get those posters and postcards out across campus, that visual reminder to students about this opportunity. Two, social media. Many of our campuses do social media, and that's a great opportunity to get word out about NSE. Campus newspaper. Every couple of years, I've managed to get a short article in the newspaper about NSE. Again, a wide audience gets to read that information. Student communications. Of course, all of our campuses have weekly newsletters and things like that to our students. Get an NSE blurb into those communications. Display case. I actually took over a display case in the front of my building and built a pretty beautiful display about NSE. Tabling. I've been tabling a lot at different events. Just yesterday, I was at our Learning Abroad fair. Again, big campus-wide events, getting the word out about NSE. Sandwich board. I'm actually designing a sandwich board that's going to go in front of my building. I will share that file with all of you if you're able to print and put a sandwich board in public places on your campus. Events calendar, make sure that NSE info sessions and other events like the upcoming NSE road trip, make sure those make your campus events calendar, and a campus-wide email. This is the number one benefit or number one way to reach a large audience across campus. Collect from your registrar's office a list of email addresses from students. Uh, Make sure that that is verified that they have at least a 2.5 GPA, and send them an email about the National Student Exchange. So that's the top of your funnel, reaching hundreds or thousands of students across campus. That's number one recommendation. Then kind of go down the funnel a little bit. And this is refining your inquiries, a little bit more high touch communications directly with students, hosting info sessions, either your own or referring them to me. Class presentations, I've been doing more of those here in the last couple of weeks as well. Advisor referrals, I rely a lot on my academic advisors to talk to their students about NSE, to advertise it through their departmental newsletters, and then refer students my way. And then small group advising. A lot of us will do advising appointments one-on-one or sometimes small groups. But again, keeping that momentum, keeping the messaging out to students. And then finally, to the bottom of the funnel, that's where you're direct emailing students that show up in your inquiries or in your application portal, and one-on-one appointments. I think a lot of students, they need that communication directly with their NSE coordinator through an appointment in person, or I'm doing most of mine on Zoom, to really explain the details of the NSE program, to verify eligibility, and to actually process those applications. So again, develop your marketing funnel to get to that target number of students. We'll talk about that here at the end. Want to remind you of a lot of resources that we have available for you. First of all, you received a few weeks ago the NSE Marketing Toolkit, and I'm going to actually put this link in the chat because it still should be an active hyperlink if you've lost track of it. This does provide a lot of this detailed information and guidance on how to really build your marketing plan. So check that out if you have not done so already. In that, you'll see a reminder about the print materials. Now, those should have arrived to your mailboxes the last probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We underwent a nice, really color scheme change, and even some of our text designs were revamped this year, which I'm really excited about. I love the postcard, really bright and beautiful. So get those postcards out across campus. Get them in your office, at the front desks of major advising centers and other real public places. Same with those posters. I had my student advisors actually go out and distribute these across campus, giving them to academic advising offices and posting them on public bulletin boards. You'll notice here on a lot of these print materials, there's a little white box. Well, for the print materials themselves, put a sticker, just a mailing label with your contact information on there, so that students know how to follow up with you. That's the intent of that white bar. And then the student guides over here as well. So make those available, hand those out to interested students. A reminder also about a lot of the great web materials, promotional materials that we provide, that we have available. So this is on the coordinator site under resources. If you scroll down to promotions, there you'll see some of NSE's logos, our QR code, some of our maps, some of our posters, things that are available there. You'll also, if you scroll down a little bit, actually I can do this right here. You'll also see some of the, oops, got to log back in. Some of the featured area theme flyers that I really use a lot to do some really tailored marketing to particular populations or majors in some cases on our campus, highlighting Puerto Rico, HBCUs, the warm weather campuses on the islands or near the ocean. So a lot of these bright and beautiful posters as well. Print and post these across your campus. Email them to colleagues asking them to print and post as well. Those are all available here on, again, that promotions page. There's also a promotions and publicity guide that I should point out. This is a document, a PDF document of a lot of the tried and true marketing approaches that a lot of us have done over the years. Excuse me. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of great ideas, things that are really effective in that document. So go and check that out. And then, like I said, the PowerPoint template, digital files for all of our logos and postcards and things like that. We also have an NSE student photo library. These are available for you for coordinator use. to build your own social media campaigns, to update your website, to create print publications using real student photos. You have permission to use those. Please do put them to use. Email marketing. So when students from your campus click request info or click apply now on the NSE website, uh, that's what appears here. Those notifications go to you. First of all, you get an email notification of a new inquiry or a new application from your campus. But those students are also filtered into our email campaign, our recruitment email campaign. And we have a series of about 6 emails actually that go out to students, just explaining the benefits of NSE, explaining the basic process of the program. So our goal is to supplement and support your recruitment efforts by sending them these messages. So encourage students to click request info or apply now. Again, you have direct access to their information. They're reaching out to you, but they're also folded into NSE's marketing efforts. Um, and this QR code, which you could find on that promotions page, actually directs students directly to request info. So put this QR code on your own print materials, on your own social media posts, etc., and direct students to that request info. Again, the goal here is for us to support and supplement the marketing efforts that you do. Just a reminder also that we host weekly info sessions. These are intended for prospective NSE students, and we're hoping that you offer some of your own campus-based info sessions. I think students really benefit from hearing from their NSE coordinator about the NSE program through info sessions, but feel free to market to advertise our info sessions as well. Direct students our way. We give basic information about the program. We give them a tour of the NSE website. We answer a lot of questions. That's always an interesting part of the info sessions. And so direct students to our info sessions, especially if you're not able to offer your own. We typically post, or I would say I post about a month in advance. So right now I have info sessions for September and all the way through the end of October. I will be getting sessions posted for November, December, January as well. So you got to check back monthly to see the new sessions that are added. But please do promote those. I really enjoy those. Hosting a group, sometimes it's only a handful of students, sometimes it's upwards of 20 or 30. It's really interesting to hear directly from students about their motivations for NSE, where they want to go, why they want to go, and answer questions. So please direct students my way. Also, a reminder, you got an email this past Monday about the NSE road trip. So we've done the NSE virtual fair in the past, and this is a little bit of a change, I guess, specifically of the timeline. But we'll be hosting 9 individual sessions, webinars that are open to the public, intended for prospective students, but also current NSE coordinators. These are the list of sessions and the schedule and the Zoom registration links can be found on the virtual fairs link on the NSE website. I shared this flyer out on Monday. Please print and post this on your campus or email it to interested students as well. The first session is happening next Thursday, actually at this same time, I think, featuring our campuses on the West Coast. So we have 8 campuses that will be speaking directly to the audience about their campus and benefits of it. So please attend and register yourself. And getting a little bit of feedback. I'm going to see if I'm going to try to mute. There we go. Please advertise those to your students. This QR code links directly to this NSE road trip page as well. Again, that's where the registration links can be found. And a reminder also that NSE is on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Those are at the bottom of our website. Please like us, follow us yourself on all of those platforms, and encourage your students to do so as well. All of them are current and up to date. We have weekly posts that go out advertising different events, including info sessions and the NSE road trip, as well as a lot of great photos and student stories and things like that. So please do follow us. Our YouTube channel has a lot of great content directly from students. Some of those were designed by us that are very much instructional manuals, things to think about regarding academics and academics and things like that. So please check out the YouTube channel, especially. This is a sample marketing plan, and I'll be sharing this with all of you as well. Um, a couple of things to keep in mind. I know that a lot of us, all of us are, sorry, my phone is ringing. A lot of us are busy. We don't have a lot of time to focus on NSE marketing. And so this is intended to give you some ideas. You may be able to do all of these. You may not be, probably not be able to do all of these things. First of all, think about your static marketing. Those are making sure that your website is up to date, making sure you have campus print materials that are up to date as well. Just a reminder to always keep your online application up to date as well. That does include you're able to provide a direct message to your students, to your applicants. So make sure that dates and deadlines and things are up to date there. In general, with NSE, we say don't let NSE be the best kept secret on your campus. There are still campus colleagues. I've been doing this for a long time on my university. I still run into people that are like, "Hey, I've never heard of this. This is such a cool thing." Get the word out across campus, specifically to students, but also your staff, faculty, advisors, etc. So expanding your NSE network. I rely heavily on academic advisors, again, to advertise NSE. Departmental chairs and faculty can be your allies. The honors program, first gen programs, trio programs, multicultural programs, first and second year programs, your ISSS office or programs as well. These are all really key cogs in your network to get the word out about NSE. Doing direct marketing, as I said, is also very important. Distributing those posters and postcards, trying to do class presentations, tabling. Like I said, I just was at a table yesterday for our Learning Abroad Fair, hosting info sessions, making yourself available, or directing students my way, and direct email. This is, I think, the most effective way to reach the large swath of students on your campus. So requesting a list, and this has been sent to you a couple of different times. I think Deborah's membership letter recently shared this process for you as well. Requesting a list from your registrar or your student information office. Filter that list based on eligibility requirements, so 2.5 GPA and above. Craft and send an email. Some of you may have your own campus-based software or methods to email students. My office, we actually invest in a MailChimp account, and we do a lot of recruitment for our other programs and events and activities, including NSE. It's been well worth it for us. If you're not able to do that to direct email students, or you feel like maybe students would tune out if it comes from you, NSE headquarters can help as well. If you're able to share that list of eligible students with us, we'll fold them into our constant contact marketing efforts. They get one email from us saying, "Are you interested or not?" And then that list is actually purged. And then doing some targeted mark. So campus wide marketing is important, but then doing some additional target marketing I think is really helpful. NSE is huge, 165 campuses. And so sometimes the really unique specific opportunities get lost in that. And so doing some specific target marketing, advertising the MSIs, multicultural serving institutions, Puerto Rico for Spanish speaking students, Quebec for French speaking students, international students. They're such a great target market for NSE. They're already studying abroad in the US, so why not give them this opportunity to explore another part of the country? DACA and undocumented students are supported through NSE. First gen, we have a high percentage of first gen students doing this. Trio, again, honors. And I do a lot of work directly with departments as well. We've identified 5 or 10 NSE campuses that they think would be the best fit for their students based on maybe unique course offerings, maybe grad school potential, and things like that. So think about those departments that you could align with to market your NSE program. And then I always want to remind you as well, follow up with your applications. You get an email from nse.org when a student initiates an application. So that's when they go in and click apply now. You get an email. Well, I send a quick email to that student saying, "Hey, thanks for your interest in NSE. Keep working on your application, but let me know if you have questions." Giving the students that little nudge, I think, can really help them. And then you get an email when that application is complete, when it's at 100%. So those are your students. Please follow up with them and help them through that process. I actually crafted my actual marketing plan here as well. I'm going to share that. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that right now, but I've talked about a lot of what I've already done here. Um, One challenge I have for you is to, first of all, view your campus placement history. You can do that on your placements page. You'll see this little report section, and you can click View Report. And that allows you to see the placement histories for all of the NSE campuses, including your own. And so you can visit, I specifically look at your placement report. It goes back to 2012. And our challenge to you is to try to place five more students next year, or this year, than you did in last academic year. NSE is still rebuilding after COVID, where I think a lot of students' mobility just was not on their radar, and so we're so close to getting not back to pre-COVID numbers, but getting to continue growing towards that. And so, if every campus really, puts a focus on marketing their NSE program and recruiting and placing five more students than you did the previous year, that would be excellent, both for student opportunities, but also for NSE as an organization. Just a reminder as well, you've seen this a couple of different times, that NSE actually has established recruitment goals. Based on your campus enrollment, that's the row of numbers up above. If your enrollment is under 5,000, your NSE recruitment goal should be five students at a minimum. If you're 5 to 10,000 enrollments, your goal should be seven. And so growing up, some of the biggest campuses like my own, 33,000 plus students, our goal really should be 20 outgoing students for that next academic year. We didn't just pull these numbers out of the air. We actually looked at placement numbers pre-COVID at about 10 years ago. And these were the averages. Some of the largest campuses were sending 20, 40, 100 students away on exchange every year. And whereas our smallest campuses, they do average about five outgoing students. So these are realistic numbers based on previous year's statistics. So aim high, but try to match the number here on this spreadsheet. That is the end of my presentation, but I do want to do a little bit of, I'm going to stop my screen share. I do want to have just a little bit of a conversation, and please unmute and engage with this, or you can use the chat as well. I'm really interested in marketing messages. And specifically, are there messages that have been very effective for you, or are there, hurdles that you hear from students that you always have to try to overcome? So I have some things in mind, and I'll share those, but I'd really like to generate it from the group. So any of you, what messaging about NSE has been very effective, and are there specific, questions or concerns that students oftentimes have that you're able to help them overcome? Don't be shy. Is anybody willing to share? I know a lot of you are new, and that's totally fine. Let me share some things from my experience. First of all, like I said earlier, NSE is a vast program, 165 campuses. So doing a real high level, message about NSE. This is the opportunity to study away within the United States, including Guam, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Canada. That's a quick, broad overview of NSE. But I actually want to take a step back. And this came up yesterday at the Learning Abroad Fair. The idea of NSE, a primarily domestic study away program, is not common knowledge. Every high schooler, every college student hears about study abroad. They have that on their radar. Either they're interested or they're not interested. But the idea of a domestic study away program is really never on anybody's radar. So that's the first thing that you have to overcome, is you have to get the message out to students. You have to let them know that this is an opportunity. So I was sitting there yesterday at the Learning Abroad Fair. Everybody around me were these study abroad programs, sending students around the world. Well, I had a student come around the corner and come and see my poster and stuff, and they're like, I can study away in the US? No way. It's so cool. They had never even considered the possibility or even thought that that would be an opportunity. So you got to let people know that this is an opportunity. that they could take advantage of. So that's why we focus on this big, broad marketing efforts, because you gotta get it on their radar for them to even consider that possibility. Um, I like to highlight specific opportunities within the NSE consortium as well. I do highlight places like Puerto Rico because our Spanish-speaking students, that is such a great destination for them for that campus language immersion, cultural immersion. No passport, no visa required. That's a big sell for students. Same with Quebec, Canada. You do have to have a passport to go there, but simple for French immersion. I love promoting HBCUs to specifically our African American student populations because that's a unique opportunity that Minnesota students don't have access to. So highlighting some of these really unique opportunities. I'm working right now with our environmental science program to do marketing push for spring semester, and they promote Alaska and Montana. Emily Mason and Mindy May, your campuses are always high on the list for those students. Uh, and and Hawaii and places like that. So getting your academic departments to buy in for the legitimate academic reasons or future career reasons that students may want to participate in this program. So again, making it real for the students. Why you should go to these particular places, I think, is really key. Um,
David, I have a quick question. Kind of going back to what you were saying about the international or the study away fair that you attended.
yep.
Um, we have an event called Catapalooza that Kelsey came for Wild
Murphy.
Rockies Field Institute, and we shared
Yep.
a table, and it was really great. But we were kind of down the way from study abroad, and I was contemplating whether or not it would be a good idea to see if my boss could pull some strings and get me next to study abroad.
Yeah.
So you felt like that was good to be by them? Um,
Yeah, so interesting question. And actually, there's going to be a couple of conference sessions on this topic, like how NSE uh, plays nice or sometimes doesn't play nice with study abroad. So over 50% of our NSE coordinators are housed in study abroad. So a lot of you, and I know several of you are here, you're doing both. You're study abroad and NSE. So first of all, in that situation, I think you always have to be aware that NSE is going to be overshadowed by study abroad. So you got to get the message out there about NSE as a separate entity or separate opportunity outside of study abroad, especially to reach those students that study abroad is not even on their radar. Um, but then, Emily, for campuses like mine and yours, where you're not in study abroad, I do think it's good to build a healthy, strong relationship with that unit. So this was the Learning Abroad Fair, and it was termed that Learning Abroad, and they had different study abroad providers come in as well. But I have a great relationship with them. They always invite me. I get a free table at their fair, and because they value NSE as another option for study away. So yes, being part of study abroad fairs and events. I've co-presented before with the study abroad office to talk about NSE as another option, which
mhm,
sometimes can be a springboard to study abroad for some
mhm.
students. Yes, so I think aligning yourself is good. But again, I would caution everybody to like you also don't want to just be folded under the study abroad umbrella because students aren't going to find you that way, and they're not
Mhm.
going to realize that this is even an opportunity. Um,
Okay.
I see a couple of things in the chat. Um, Advisors have been instrumental. The ISSS office, we don't need to talk a lot about that, but there's a lot going on with immigration and international students and so on. Cindy sent an email to uh, faculty and staff asking for class presentations. Yes, I do. I haven't done a lot of class presentations in the last few years. I'm doing a lot more this fall, and I also have a couple of student workers and NSE alums actually that are doing some for me. So those are all really effective things. Um, Other messaging that I constantly hear confusion about, and you want to identify these little hurdles, these little barriers, and then help to address them, even right off the bat. Number one is uh, cost, affordability. And I do recognize where I am at time. I'm at 30 minutes, but I want to talk for just 2 or 3 more minutes and then feel free to hang out longer than that. Um, but cost, I always talk about NSE being an affordable option for students. And you all should hopefully know this. Students are either placed on home pay, which means they continue to pay their home campus tuition, which is a pretty awesome deal to study out of state or out of the country even, and pay your regular home campus tuition, or host pay, which means you pay the resident rate or the in-state tuition to that other campus. Um, I give concrete examples of that to students because they don't know what does that mean? How much is that going to be? It is posted on the NSE website what host pay tuition is, but I actually will tell students, okay, you're looking at Hawaii. They're only available on host pay at this point for spring 2026. You're going to pay $6,029 or thereabouts for tuition at University of Hawaii at Manoa. It's a concrete number. I also point out to them that that is cheaper than University of Minnesota tuition. So I have that kind of luxury. My tuition's a little bit higher than most of you. So that is very affordable, even cheaper for students. So dispelling the confusion, clarifying any confusion about the cost of NSE, specifically with regard to tuition. Um, Financial aid, federal financial aid is transferable. It should go with all NSE students, whether you're on home pay or host pay, with the exception of college work study. So give that message to students that your federal financial aid is going to follow you on NSE, except for college work study. And then you should understand, does your state aid follow? Do institutional scholarships follow as well? I'm not a financial aid advisor, so I can't make any promises or anything like that. I don't think any of you are financial aid experts either. Build that relationship with your financial aid office, but have a general umbrella message that, and my message is almost all financial aid follows you on NSE, because in my case, that's very true. And then the third thing that students oftentimes get tripped up about is the academic piece. They worry about doing something like NSE, delaying their graduation. I think a major benefit of NSE is these are all accredited institutions across the US, Guam, Puerto Rico, US Virgin Islands, and Canada. Our institutions routinely accept transfer credits from all of these different institutions. And so my message to my students is I can virtually guarantee that you can do NSE and stay on track to graduate, especially if you're taking general education or liberal education courses, in my case, or elective courses either outside your major or inside your major. Those are really easy things to fulfill on my campus. You need to understand, if that's the case on your campus. When it comes to major or minor courses, um, my campus, my departments routinely endorse NSE saying, yes, we're going to work with you. We want you to have these types of opportunities. And in some cases, like I said earlier, the departments have identified particular NSE campuses. So they say, yes, if you go to Montana State University and you're taking these courses, no problem. They fit directly into your major. You're going to stay on track to graduate. So, again, having that elevator pitch about NSE, it's affordable, financial aid applies, and we're going to make sure the credits transfer. That's going to keep students in the mix and hopefully allow them to apply for the program. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Feel free, I'm going to stop the recording as well. If you have better places to be, please feel free to